Hello, how are you? Welcome back. Real time right now, we are a day before my boxing fight. This is going to be my first boxing fight. It's actually a pro fight. When you're watching this, it will be the day after the boxing fight. So I will, it will have been done. So right now we're just trying to, make weight. So I took the day off of work. We're going to go drive down. It's Friday. We're going to go drive down and step on the scale. But before that, I wanted to show you some sparring that I've done, since you'll probably be in the mood to watch some boxing. So here I am with Seraphina Brown. She is the boxing coach at the UFC gym in Boston. Ooh, get it, girl. Oh, okay. And I'd like to first thank Seraphina and also Daniel Mola for working with me. Now we can watch this together, and I'll give you some tips too. That way, just in case you ever want to get into boxing. The number one tip that I can give you, the thing that really helped me is, do you see where both me and her? Do you see where she places her right hand and where I'm placing my right hand? When she's not trying to punch me in the face. Do you see how it's really close to our jaw? That's really huge, because when I put my fist there, you put your fist here, it allows you to be able to parry a punch, which means you can slap it out of the way before it hits your face. And the nice thing about your hand being right here is, if it were anywhere else, like in Muay Thai, we're usually up here, that half, the 6 inches, is that 6 inches? I don't know. That's what I said. The farther your hand is away from where the punch would be coming means that it would take more time for you to move your arm to actually parry the punch. So if your hand is already in position, then you have a better shot of parrying it, because you have less distance to travel, because it's already right here. And you're already covering your chin with that hand. So that was really huge. The way Daniel explained it to me, that really hit home, as he explained it to me in jiu-jitsu terms. He's like, hey, when you're trying to grab collars, you typically have your hands really close to the collar. That way you can defend people from grabbing your collar. It's the same thing with punching, except instead of grabbing your collar, they're trying to punch your face. Now, the next thing that I learned in boxing was head movement, and Daniel really explained this to me in a way that made a lot of sense. It's like, if you are within punching distance, you can move your head, and by move your head, it's not like this, it's like moving like this, and that places your head basically closer to their rib cage. And when it's that distance, they can't generate a lot of force because you're so close to them. And then that also gives you the ability to get out of the way and then to roll. So right now he's explaining this same thing to us. He's basically doing an impression of me getting punched in the face. And if you ever got punched in the face before, you know that it definitely, that phrase, everybody has a plan to get punched in the face. Getting punched in the face is a skill. The first time I did Muay Thai was in 2018, and I had been doing jiu-jitsu for 2 years. I thought I was good at fighting, but certain skills are not transferable. And me knowing how to choke people did not transfer into getting punched in the face. I basically stood in the pocket and got punched in the face for 3 minutes straight. And then I went and cried in a corner. So do you see what he's doing here? So he's using his shoulder to block the punch and angling away. That way you can avoid getting hit in the face. And things are a lot easier to do, like when you see people, you know, punching the bag or practicing these movements. The movements are great, but it feels a lot different when somebody's actually trying to punch you in the face. It's like, you know, if you do jiu-jitsu and you're drilling with zero resistance, yeah, you can do all the moves in the world, but when somebody's actively trying to punch you in the face, like that's when, you know, it's like there can be a certain amount of fear in your mind where your brain's like, what are you doing? Why are you going closer to danger? But you're actually going closer to it is what is making you safe, which is why in one of the press conferences I said that, you know, as fighters, oh, do you see that? Do you see his head movement? So instead of going straight back like I was going, that's not giving me any, that position does not allow for my body to then roll under punches or to do any other movement that could keep me safe. See, that was good, except I put my right hand down. So another way to not get punched in the face is to keep your mouth shut. No, just kidding. Another way to not get punched in the face is to, you know, you can duck under, you can back up, you can roll under, which is what I have been working on. You can parry, which is slapping the punch out of the way. And if you're a beginner, I highly, oh, see, I did it, I rolled. That's a win. That's a win in my book. Ooh, that was a good one. Oh, she's so good. I love the way she moves. It was definitely so good to train with somebody at her level. This was one of like the last times that we sparred together. The first time, I mean, I remember talking with Mike Ray of Ray's Boxing, the promotion that I'm fighting for, and I'm like, you know, I think this is the first time after we sparred. This is, I think, like the 9th time that we've sparred, but she punched me a bunch of times and then she was gone, you know, before I could even catch her. And it felt like, you know, I was just getting punched in the face and then kind of like chasing after her, but not really getting anything. And I remember talking to him and I'm like, hey, you know, I think I'm a counter puncher. And he's like, Crystal, you actually have to return a punch while they're punching you to be a counter puncher. And then I was like, well, I guess she just punched me in the face. So one thing I like that she does is, do you see her lead hand? I really like how she feints and like how she kind of like moves it. Oh, here I am doing a switch stance. Yeah, this week, so basically, let's see, is this, I can never tell because like the light in back of me. So basically this past week, you know, since I'm fighting, I can't train. So fighters typically take the week off from training, and I'm like, it's so boring not training. It's like, it's so exciting to be able to get in there. All right, so basically what Danielle is giving me a tip on is right now I'm like a regular stance, which means even though I'm left-handed, I typically fight with my left foot forward to be in, that's called orthodox, to be in this switch type stance, or I think they call it an orthodox stance, I don't know, is to have my right foot forward and my right hand forward, which would be the jab hand, so the cross would be the rear arm, which is my left right now. And one key thing to throwing the cross is people are always saying like turn your hip over, and if my back stays straight, you know, look versus here, do you see like how the extension adds some inches? And you know, nobody's gonna be mad at that. Well, except the person getting punched in the face, but that reminds me too, it's almost like if you've never gotten punched in the face before, getting punched in the face is like it's a skill in and of itself. It's like to be able to get punched in the face and not have like an emotional reaction to it is definitely a skill, just to like brush it off like, you know, it's no big deal. It's like if we get upset every time we get punched in the face, that's not going to be like very fun training because you're boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like being mad at kicking a soccer ball if you're a soccer player. So definitely, if you've never tried boxing before or kickboxing, you know, one key thing in kickboxing, they call your hands your guard. So one key thing is to like work on your guard, or what they call in boxing, just keeping your hands up, and like the distance management of finding where your range is and where are you just outside of the range so that you can like parry in time, or even like move back a little bit and you won't get punched. Another key thing, this is huge, is when they say keep your chin down, okay, yeah, it's good because you're not exposing your jawline, you know, because that's where you would get knocked out. But when you keep your chin down, you automatically keep your head forward, and your forehead is then going to be punched before anything else, as opposed to here where this would be punched. And this area right here is extremely hard. I mean, I've broken, in my last MMA fight, she broke her ulna and radius on my head. I've had a training partner break their metatarsals on my head. So your head, I don't think I'm, you know, particularly hard-headed, but it's crazy how hard this part of your head is. And the first time that I ever sparred, it is counterintuitive even to do this, because your brain, this is my brain anyway, when I first started sparring, is like, as a beginner, it's like if the punch is coming, if you're unskilled, you want to go like this to get out of the way. It's like if you keep your head forward, your brain is like, what are you doing getting closer to the punch? But it's almost like a life thing. It's like if we go towards what we fear, we're actually more protected, ironically. So yeah, wish me luck. Right now I feel great because I'm talking to you guys. But I just feel very I appreciative. Thank you to everybody who, has supported me, who's coming out to watch me fight. And thank you for watching this video. And, I hope this inspires you to go out and do something that, you want to do, even through the fear, and to face, some sort of fear, because I know for me, it's been my dream to have a pro fight. That was like my New Year's kind of like secret wish. I thought it was going to be an MMA, but it turned out to be boxing. And I'm not controlling, like whatever happens, happens. Like the universe, you do your thing. I'll do my thing. But yeah, I'm happy. And I hope you go out and face your fears as well, because sometimes they're just little kittens when you thought, it was a lion. So the fear anyway, not the, yeah. Anyway, all right, see you. Love you. Bye.